Newsshooter coverage of NAB 2025 is sponsored by B&H Build Expo, June 17th and 18th at the Javits Center, New York, and Atlas Lens Co.
I'm Eric Nason with Newsshooter.com, and we are at NAB 2025, and I'm with Ross here at Core SWX. How's it going, Ross?
We're doing well. How about yourself?
I'm doing fantastic. Hey, you have some really cool products. A lot of them are based around Snap, which is something you guys developed, a couple years ago?
Last year we came out with it, right.
And I knew that it was going to grow. You knew it was going to grow, and you guys found other ways to implement that design. Let's talk about this one right here, which I'm really excited about. This is the new Nano M-Snap.
M-Snap, right. So M-Snap's just a smaller version of the Snap system, and it's really based on product feedback. That's what we rely on. So the M-Snap system, as currently made, is either a Nano U98 style, so for like a BPU, Nano C98, which is the Canon BPA, or we even have a L series style. And the thought process around it is, everyone uses these small batteries. Yes. We were just talking about if you're in your hotel room, you have a double bank charger, you have to wake up at 3 a.m. to charge the batteries. You no longer have to do that with our system. Our system snaps to charge, and it's also cross-platform. So while I don't think many applications you'll have Canon and Sony batteries on set, you may very well have a Canon BPA style for your C70, C80,
same battery.
But you may have an L series monitor, and the beauty here is you could charge them all in a stack. So what we also did was last year we debuted our PD Pro platform. By the way, this is all USB-C PD charging, by the way, and there's no finite number of the numbers how many you could stack. Obviously, you don't want to create like a Jenga scenario. But,
it'll tip over in the middle of the night.
But you can use your Apple MacBook charger, plug them in overnight, they're all ready to go. And again, cross-platform and different voltages too, because the L series are 7 volts, while the BPA and BPU style are 14.8 volt.
Now, the key too, let's talk about, because we were just talking about it, it's 65 watt
input charge.
So that means if you're using a 100 watt PD charger, it's not going to go faster. It's going to just be regulated to 65 watts. Now, every time you add an extra battery, is it going to take a little bit longer to charge?
Of course. The way the system works is it brings all the battery packs up to the same level and then charges them simultaneously. So if you had 3 battery packs at 90%, you put on one at 10, it's going to prioritize the 10% to bring it up to 90 before they come up all to 100.
Okay.
If you're unsatisfied with that, don't put that battery in on the stack or find another PD charger. But I think that's a great feature, but I really think where we even stepped it up one more notch is integrating that PD Pro connection on all these battery packs. So now, if you have a BMD Pixis, for instance, now, you have 2 viable accessory outputs. So you could power the camera, you can power something from a PTAP, let's say a monitor, and now you still have the other PD Pro, which will give you from 5 to 28 volts. So I can power a 15 volt or a 12 volt device like a Teradek wireless transmitter from this. So that really adds to the functionality of this system. The other great thing, there was many years back, I loved the small HD Focus 5 monitors, shameless plug here, but the key with that monitor was that you can power off an L series battery both the monitor and a camcorder. With our new 70 watt L series packs, you can power a monitor, and then you have this PD Pro connection. We can power an FX6 off this. This can power 19.5 volts. So you could go FX6 into this, you could do any sort of FX3, FX30 with just the PD. You could do 4-pin XLR out of this. So that really makes these packs even more versatile.
Especially you said the L and P, this one is not compatible for cameras.
No, we're not. Sony's no longer supporting the platform, so we're not either.
Makes a lot of sense.
I think it's a good call there.
It's been a long time since I think a camera even used the L.
So these are for accessories. There's plenty of, Atomos makes monitors. HD, everyone uses L series. It's a very robust 21700 cell infrastructure here, so that's what allows us to get more power out of the auxiliary port.
Very nice. Now, what I thought was pretty cool is you guys put a quarter 20 tap on there. Is that just like, what's the purpose? I mean, I could think of a purpose for it, but what was your thinking?
So, there was some conversation about, do we have like some sort of accessory
These
method
mystery
here?
holes.
There are none. That's just pure aesthetic. That's how we assemble the packs. Quarter 20, the thought behind that was you can use these as more than just a camcorder pack, right? So if you have a rig set up, let's say I don't have a Sony L-Series monitor, but I have an ARM, I can use the PD Pro port to power any sort of device. So it's sort of like a hybrid to the Snap system, where those are highly versatile and not necessarily a V-mount or a gold mount pack.
Yeah.
This is the same thought process. You also have a ring status display, and
yeah, it's nice.
yeah.
I could see a lot of people using this for just keeping, like putting those little clamps, like to hold cables out of the way.
Right.
To
You can
guide
do that
them
too.
into your rig, because they tend to sort of want to hang out this way. So if you could just stick the old D-tap in there, put the little cable in there, and kind of like guide it into
Yeah, I think they're
into
called
your rig.
sprigs or whatnot.
Sprigs.
Yeah, you can definitely use them. And
Mid 49 also has a nice
and
one that
Mondo
is
has
quarter
some.
20.
Yeah, I think blue Condor Blue.
Yeah.
You can definitely use it for cable management. The nice thing about PD Pro, if you have it in its true form, not just USB-C, is those are locking too, like a P-tap. So I wouldn't worry about cable security, more about refining the path of the cable.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking, because that's always been kind of I've taken, cable wraps, and I'm trying to, because the back of the camera gets pushes out too much. It's kind of crazy.
Right.
Yeah, these are really great, and you can also, obviously, you don't have to use, which is a great feature, but you don't have to use the stacking feature. They'll work on your normal OEM chargers, right?
If you want to use Bay chargers, they work perfectly fine. Yep.
Very versatile. All right, Ross, appreciate it.
All right, thanks for
Good
stopping
job.
by.
You bet.